universe always has our back. We just don't know that. And how do we do that? By thinking about it. We as humans are coming on this planet only and only to grow spiritually. But what happens? First, we have to grow physically, mentally, emotionally, and intellectually. Only then our spiritual growth can happen. Now, we humans really forget the reason why we are here on this planet, and we just stray apart. I get lost in the world of materialism. But that's okay. We have our soul, and our soul really, really has the power to bring us back into the cosmic alignment. And how does the soul do that? Because it is connected to the field which is called as Akasha. Akasha, what is this? Well, Akasha is the first of the five elements, one of the most important element. In this field, Akashic, we can call it as sky, we call it space, and we call it ether. Ether means something magical, something mystical. Yes. And what is so magical about the ether? Well, it contains information. The whole of Akash consists of the energies. It accumulates all the energies. And what kind of energies are these? Every time a soul vibrates, it sends out certain frequencies, which is then captured in the Akasha. So if you tell me Akasha is nothing but a whole big cosmic library, and it has all the information about you, your past, your present, and your talents, potentials, your regrets, what you should have listened, your patterns. Everything is recorded in this cosmic library. Well, hi, my name is Nirjara Doshi. I'm a spiritual scientist, an energy alchemist, and a healer. And today, with the help of Akashic Field, I am going to help you with the 4-point pillars that I have created to create a spark, take the first step, and bring the transformations that you are bringing in your life. Now, I'm going to give you few metaphors, and based on these metaphors, we will be discussing about these entire concepts. The 4 pillars are science, spirituality, Vedas, and quantum. Now, yes, we are going to use all these 4 pillars to help you understand how you can create the spark. The first thing we need to understand is that I'll be giving you a lot of metaphors, and these metaphors are going to explain to you the concepts. The first metaphor is whenever we do something constantly, repeatedly, the subconscious mind takes this activity as a muscle memory and it keeps doing it again and again, then that activity becomes automatic. For example, if you are driving a car, sometimes you're so lost deep into the thoughts that you really do not know how did you travel from point A to point B. Well, that's muscle memory. You have already mastered it. Now, the second example I'm going to give you, there is a vendor and there is a corporation. Now, the vendor and the corporation, they have 2 contracts. Whatever the vendor is going to produce, the corporation is going to give them the raw materials to make the same. Then the second contract is whatever the vendor makes it, the corporation will buy it. And for this to work flawlessly, what they have done is they have come with an agreement. They have hired 2 people. So there is a person called, they call them Q. Now this person Q is going to work on behalf of vendor and will pass all the information to person A, who is hired by the corporation, so that the contract is working very seamlessly and effortlessly between them. Okay, this is how the arrangement is. Now, coincidentally, they have hired both these persons who are twins to each other. Why they have hired them as twins? Because the twins are cosmically connected to each other. Whatever one feels, the other automatically feels. So, the tandem becomes very easy for the communication. Now, there is another corporation. The corporation's job is to do the peeling work. Peeling, yes. So it has one part which is constantly peeling onions and the second part which is constantly peeling roses. Now, the job is the same, it's peeling. But the persons who are peeling onions, they are not very happy. There is too much of smell, the eyes are watering, there is sulfur, there's too much of toxicity. They are not looking forward to go to this kind of an organization, and they are constantly falling sick. Against which the people who are peeling the roses, they are very happy, They are very gentle. They just look forward to finish the days. The experience is very pleasant, and they finish the work, but they don't mind doing the overtime, and they also help a lot of other people. Okay, that's another example. Now we come to one more example. Think this, I'm holding a cup of a milk, right? Now in this cup of milk, ghee, butter, cheese, everything happens from this milk. Milk becomes the raw material. Similarly, let's hold another cup where this is the cup of your thoughts. Yes, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, your feelings, your expressions, all this is coming from your thoughts. Now, let me tell you one fun fact. We have about 6,000 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. Well, it's just a number that is shocking. It's then another part, each and every thought that you have today is exactly the same thought as yesterday. 98% of our thoughts are exactly the same thoughts as what you have had yesterday. And 98% of the yesterday's thoughts are recycled version of the day before yesterday, which means mathematically, we are having a same thought for last 3 months, correct? Now, mathematically, we can have a zero thought, but actually in life we don't, which means it's been for a very long time that we are having same thoughts in our life. Nothing has changed in our life. Now, if I have to ask you, what is the first thing that you have to think? We, by default, will always think negative because we want to try and protect ourselves. Our subconscious tries to protect itself. So it always thinks of negative scenario, which means by default, your thinking pattern is negative. Negative like that of the onion guy. Now, what is this onion guy doing? He's always complaining. He's always, in lack. So if you are holding this cup of milk, cup of thoughts, and your thoughts for last 3 months are that of complaint, of lack, of not having enough in your life, where somebody else is better, somebody else is getting all the opportunities, you are not, then you fall in the category of onions. And we do know that when an onion guy is there, now this kind of information is constantly being sent out. Okay, because every time the soul vibrates, the soul vibration takes on the information and passes to the Akashic field. Now, if you remember the concept of what I said, a vendor and the corporation, well, you are the vendor. Yes, you are the vendor. You are the person. And what are you giving out into the agencies? Your thoughts, your emotions, your expressions, your feelings, your intentions. Yes, including your intentions. Even if you don't intend to take an inspired action on anything, your intention itself is sent out, and the corporation that we are talking about is the Akashic field. Now, what happens whenever you have a negative thought or a positive thought, the soul vibrates and soul sends out this frequency out into the Akashic field. Now, Akashic field literally takes on all this information. Like we have told in the beginning, I told you that this Akashic field has all the information about your soul and the vibrations. We are just not talking about this incarnation. We are talking of all the incarnations that you have taken before coming here to this point, which means each and every emotion, every expression, every feeling, intent, everything that you have done is constantly recorded because the soul vibrates on these things and then they are sent out in the Akashic field. Well, now the interesting part, let's get to quantum, how it happens. As we know, our human body is full of trillions of cells. Now, each cell, if you bring down to the lowest point, it is about atoms and molecules. And if we further break down the atoms and the molecules, we get something called as quarks. Now, imagine you as vendor had hired a person called Q who was supposed to be constantly in touch with person called A, and these are twin brothers. I will explain to you how you are quantum entangled with each other. So if you are feeling angry, if you are feeling upset, if you are feeling depressed, your cells experience the same thing because it's part of your body. And when the cell experiences it, all this information is passed to the atoms, and from the atoms it goes to the electrons, it goes to the protons, it goes to the neutrons, and then it goes to the quarks. Now the quarks contain energy. They hold the information field. So every time a quark has a certain amount of information, to exactly a similar atom or a similar quark, which is called as antiquark, will have the same. And when both of them have the same information, because there are a lot of permutation and combinations happening, so when a quark meets the antiquark, they immediately fuse together to become a quantumly entangled thing. So right now, if you have in your body a cell which is saying that I am depressed, that information is going to the quarks, and that quark is quantumly entangled to the Akashic field, and it sends the same information that yes, this is depression, this is anger, this is hurt. And so the Akashic field doesn't know what to do, it doesn't judge, so it will give you all the reasons, because by contract, whatever the vendor produces, where you are the vendor, and if you are angry, Akash is meant to give you this field, reasons to be angered. So this is how on quantum level we literally are connected, which means again that your thoughts are the main important seeds that out there in the Akashic field. Now that if you know the last 3 months, if you're not having a very good life, let's do one thing. By the same principle, what we do is we become very conscious of our thoughts. Let us introduce new thoughts, because this is where the whole game begins. So we introduce the new thoughts in the energy field, our field, and we start working on it. Though you may not feel it, but by the sheer action of thinking about it, I am happy, I am positive, I am abundant, I am confident, that information is subconsciously seeped down all the way into the quarks. And this quark will then relay it to the anti-quark in the Akashic field, and you will have multiple reasons to feel happy, abundant, and happy and powerful. So this is how you change. Our aim goal is to literally be spiritually strong, and by practicing meditations, by doing visualizations, by doing prayers, by literally self talking to ourselves, being mindful of what things are happening, mindful of the thoughts that are around us, whatever we are feeling, and putting a corrective action on that, we stop the chain reaction of autonomously thinking about negative, and we slowly and slowly, as a habit, we start doing thinking, because 98% are same, which means 2% are something fresh and new, which means you have an opportunity to put new thoughts. And with that new thoughts, if you continue practicing that, within 3 months, absolutely you will have a brand new version of yourself. Now, let me tell you one thing. It's just not about us who's doing the same thing. India as a country and the defense system is using the same principles that is mentioned in Vedas and has developed quantum key distribution, wherein what they are doing is they are encrypting two protons and they are passing the information. As soon as somebody tries to decrypt it, or both the protons are aware of it. And this is something which is mentioned in our Vedas. It is mentioned in quantum. It is mentioned everywhere. So when a country like India is choosing the Veda, the traditional old method, which seems old, but actually it's the most latest advanced technology. When it is using that information to protect ourselves, to protect the whole country, India has to develop the system, but we are the technology. Our human body, our human mind is a technology, and if we start projecting the right thoughts out into the universe automatically will have our back, because we are connected through the Akashic field. So how can you do that? Well, I would suggest take a glass of water, hold the glass in your hand, and just say, I thank you, I surrender, I'm happy, I'm abundant, drink it. Next, when you're sleeping at night, do the same thing. Just by this, because our body is made up of 70% water, the same thing is also going to reflect into our body. We are changing the chemistry, biology with our thoughts, with our intentions. And this is how we are going to shift. We are going to create the spark of transformation. This is our first step towards that. I wish you all a very happy and an abundant life. Thank you so much.